I really am curious, and I have been since I think your previous title at AAR indicated that you were doing some business development in Africa. And you're one of my few friends who's African American and who has done a lot of work in Africa. So I want to hear about that because you also, at the last conference we were at together, introduced me to an amazing and very inspirational woman who's an African woman who is killing it over in Rwanda in the aviation industry. So I want to hear about the plight of women in other areas of the world in becoming leaders in male dominated industries. And then maybe a little bit of your perspective, if you don't mind sharing, about how weird it is to be in the minority color wise here in the US and then not when you go to Africa. But is that weird?
It is different. You're a different kind of minority, though. So being African American is still set apart. There's still a difference, although it's a different experience here. First of all, let me just say that women in leadership roles, most countries are doing better than the U.S. in terms of women in leadership roles. So let me just debunk that theory. It is not uncommon in South Africa. When I first began to travel to South Africa, the Minister of Defense, the Minister of Defense or the Secretary of Defense was a woman. The chairwoman of an airline was a woman. There were many, particularly on the government side in South Africa and in Africa, many women leaders in top roles that you don't really see here. The young woman that you're referring to, that is it's got to be the youngest CEO of an airline, is Yvonne Mokolo, and she's CEO of Rwanda Air, as they say, and so sharp. Oh, you were there, you saw her, and I got a chance to break bread with her privately, and this young woman is fearless and bold and authentic, and that's when you talk about bringing your true authentic self to the table. It doesn't mean that you're this undaunted, totally confident, impervious sort of persona 24/7. It means that, well, I can express concerns and maybe doubts and still not worry about whether or not I'm being perceived as strong, as smart. And when you're that kind of authentic and comfortable in your skin, it just reads so powerfully. And so this is what this young woman, CEO of the airlines, but that when you go to Rwanda, that country and the president of that country has a phenomenal track record putting women in the highest roles and positions on the business side and in government. So that there are a lot of gains there. It was interesting being in a country, in a place, in countries where I'm no longer the minority. My skin tone is no longer the minority, or in leadership meetings when everyone around the table, are of African descent. So that is that's a different conversation. That's a different frame of reference, and it can be empowering. But then there are other differences that make you an outsider as an African American in Africa, because you're from the U.S. and the challenges of being from the U.S. And some of the trust issues, are you inherit because you are American. So it's almost like you're an American before you are African American or African for sure. So it's thrilling, but it's not without its challenges.